I've been afraid to post this video for a long time because every time I talk about living in Israel, the hate just rolls in faster and louder than anything else I've ever posted. And after October 7th, it only got worse. But something changed recently. Something just clicked, and I'm not hiding it anymore. If one day Jews are forced to leave this land again, I want to know that there is a record out there of me living life in my ancestors' indigenous homeland. So many people nowadays like to deny the history of this land and the history of my people. Although we have mountains of archaeological evidence to prove our long-lasting presence in this land, many people still try to find ways to deny it. Wouldn't it be nice if I could just search on YouTube for a real-life video of my ancestors living in their ancient homeland and share that with people who try to deny reality? Sadly, I can't. But I can do something for the future. In this year, 2025, I have a unique opportunity to record bits of my life in Israel to stand as a living testament of the reality of the Jewish people's story, so that in 100 years or maybe even 1,000 years, people can simply pull up a video on YouTube and see the truth of what life was like for a Jewish woman like me in this day and age living in Israel. I could very well be torpedoing my YouTube account, and maybe everyone out there wants to cancel me for being a voice of truth, of what Israel truly is and what it actually stands for. But if this gets me canceled, so be it. I'm telling the truth anyways. But first, let's discuss what exactly pushed me to this point. You see, I started this channel talking about finance. It felt like the responsible topic to discuss. It made sense. I love personal finance and I know how much it can change people's lives for the better. And it was a safe space, something neutral, a topic that didn't get anyone too riled up. But little by little, I started posting more about random things about my life in Israel. Not for political reasons, just because I wanted to share simple aspects of my life, like apartment hunting or a walk at the port in Herzliya, just little snippets of my life. And I was surprised at what happened. Those videos got more views than my finance content, more engagement too, although it often wasn't positive feedback. Some people did share kind comments, and for those I'm so grateful, but many people had very negative and mean comments about circumstances that they really were not very knowledgeable on or educated on at all. One thing though was that I liked doing those videos more than I liked the finance videos. They felt more like me, more connected to what I'm actually experiencing day to day. They also felt more unique because finance YouTubers are a dime a dozen, but how many people in the world have access to someone who can share things about life in Israel and an actual Israeli perspective on various subjects in English? Not many, but I held back on officially changing the direction of my channel to focus only on life in Israel. I didn't let myself fully go there. I didn't lean into that content even though something in my gut told me to, and the reason was very simple. Fear. Every time I posted anything even slightly about Israel, it opened the floodgates. The hate was loud, aggressive, exhausting. It didn't matter what the video was actually about or how non-political it was, but if I just mentioned that the trip was in Israel or that the video took place in Israel, it was enough to trigger an avalanche of ugly comments. I've been called every name in the book. I've had people accuse me of crimes I've never committed, intentions I've never had. I've had strangers tell me I don't deserve to live or that they wish Hamas would rape me. I received the most venomous comments and DMs just for sharing my reality. And that started to really mess with me because being on YouTube is already very vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there for the world to judge you. And there's a weird kind of mental gymnastics you do wondering, will they like me? Did I say too much? Did I come off the wrong way? Did I look weird? Now imagine adding on top of that the complexity of being a Jew in Israel in a post-October 7th world. It's something I don't think most people can understand or wrap their mind around, and frankly, I hope they would never have to do that. After October 7th, everything changed for me, not just for Israelis, not just for Jews, but for anyone who had even a fraction of humanity in their heart. That day didn't just break us, it exposed the world, the silence from people we thought were allies, the outright celebrations from others, the anti-Semitism that had been hiding in plain sight, now out just in the open. And for those of us living here, The pain hasn't stopped. Every day we carry it. We live with the weight of trauma, with the knowledge that people around the world don't see us as human beings. That's not something I say lightly. And trying to post on social media in this environment, it feels pretty impossible. But then, on top of all of that, came the escalation with Iran. The missiles, the sirens, the ground-shaking explosions all around you, one after another, night after night, a rush to the shelter at all of the crazy hours of the middle of the night. The sound of the blasts are often so close, the ground shakes beneath you, the walls shake around you. It feels like it either hit or was intercepted right outside your front door. And it happens over and over and over again, not just one explosion, but multiple at a time. And sitting there clutching my daughter, my little 1-year-old baby, in that little dark space, something in me just shifted. I had this overwhelming clarity. Why am I so afraid of what strangers online think? If I were to die tomorrow, God forbid, would I really want to have spent my time tiptoeing around the truth just to avoid being called names on the internet by a bunch of ignorant strangers? No. I realized that no amount of hate could outweigh the truth I live every single day. No DM, no tweet, no trending hashtag can undo what I've seen with my own 2 eyes or felt in my own experience. This is my home, this is my people, this is my land and the land of my ancestors. And this is the truth that I myself carry. If God forbid Jews are ever displaced from this land again, I want to know that I used my voice while I still had one, that I stood in full ownership of my identity, that I documented what it means to live a Jewish life in my ancestral indigenous homeland, that I will never be ashamed of that. I will never hide that again. I quickly decided that when I receive venomous comments and DMs filled with nothing but hate, I'm just going to immediately delete them. And I do this for 2 reasons. One, I don't want to feel compelled to reply or engage and spiral into a dark circle of internet hate that would only chip away at my mental health and make me waste my very precious time. The YouTube studio is also set up to show comments you haven't responded to every time you open it up to check your stats. So the same single comment will continue to pop up and harass me every time I checked my stats in my YouTube studio, which became really mentally defeating after a while. And 3, I figured that the person who wrote the comment spent several minutes of their day just to write such a hateful comment. And the best thing I could do to make myself feel better was to tell myself I had the power to just delete that time that they spent so that they would be effectively wasting their own precious time in life by leaving me hateful, unproductive comments. Now, don't get me wrong, if someone has a genuine curiosity and wants to understand the situation better, wants to ask questions, wants to comment from a place of curiosity or a desire to learn, or maybe even wants to respectfully challenge ideas and have intellectual debates from a productive and kind place, I welcome all of that. But if comments are purely hateful, I will delete them. Like, it is one thing for someone to ask in a neutral or kind tone if I care about the Palestinian suffering in Gaza, which is an intellectual debate that I'm happy to allow in the comments because the answer is yes, I absolutely care. And it breaks my heart, and I can guarantee you I have shed more tears for those Palestinians than the woke Western liberals who have never stepped foot on this soil. Those comments won't be deleted. But if you say something purely ignorant or purely hateful, like "Cry me a river, you dirty Zionist," that type of garbage is unproductive and does nothing good for mankind. And that type of comment will be deleted. That is my policy here on this channel. So just be advised, if you got hate to leave it somewhere else. Don't leave it here because you'll be wasting your time. But despite all of this hate, just know this. I am proud. Proud to stand with my country against global terrorism. Proud to live in a land that, no matter how many condemnations it faces, chooses life over and over again. Proud to stand up against a tyrannical regime that brutalizes its own people and dreams of wiping my people off the map. Proud to share this complicated, beautiful, sometimes messy, but always meaningful life with whoever is willing to watch. And so if you're still here, thank you. You're going to start seeing some different content on this channel. I'll still talk about finance from time to time, but I'm also going to talk about the quiet moments in between the chaos of my life living here in Israel, the joy of living here, the reality of what it means to be Israeli today. And if that's something you want to be a part of, then you could subscribe to my channel down below and follow along. Feel free to ask questions, even disagree, but be here with curiosity and love, not hate. This story is only just getting started, so stay tuned. Thank you all for watching.